Now let us see what is the method, what is the strategy you should be applying if you want to score really good in word memorization. So once again, let's go back to our website, memoryjambori.com. And in the practice test area, you'll find 5-minute words. Let's come to 5-minute words. And once again, I'm going to take moderate. Let it be. It's moderate already. So I'm going to take moderate and I'll say start. You get a timer for 5 seconds, and here we are. When we were doing images, what had we done? We were creating story of 4 images and then leaving the 5th one. That's what we were doing. Once again, we will apply the method of making story with the words. Okay, so there is a peg. What is a peg? So peg is that hook which we get on the wall. So on the peg, I hang a sack. Okay, I'm forming story. I'm just linking them. So on the peg, I hang a sack, and the sack I threw and it became a planet. It started going around the earth. And on this planet, there was so much coffee. I got coffee when I came down. The coffee fell down. I used a mop to clean it. And as I was mopping, an owl came and took all my coffee. Now, this owl took it and I went and sat on a deer in the jungle. Now, this deer had got a button on its body. So what was there? The dots on the deer were actually buttons. So how does my story begin? The story was peg. On the peg I hang sack. The sack I threw, it became a planet. On the planet grew coffee. Coffee fell down. I cleaned with a mop. Who took the mop? Oil took this mop. Then, owl took this mop. Owl sat on a deer, and deer's dot were all button. This button became the wheel of the bus. So this button became the wheel of the bus, and inside the bus, everyone is wearing coat. Okay. Now, this coat, when we felt hot, we threw it, and the coats fell onto the cab, and the cab started melt. Let's revisit the story once again. So it was what? It was peg. I hang sack on the peg. I threw it, it became planet. On the planet grew some coffee. Coffee fell, I cleaned with a mop. Mop was taken away by an owl. Owl sat on the deer. Deer's dots were all button. So we put this button onto bus. It became the wheel of the bus, right? Bus. And in the bus, everyone is wearing coat. Coat we threw, it fell on a cab, and it became so hot that it started melt. I've done till here. Okay. Now, we still have time. We've done only half. Trust me, when you do with practice, you will be able to do, may be able to do just 20 words in 1 minute. It's very much possible. So now I'm going to go to recall. I'll get a recall page of a blank text boxes after the 5-second timer. So there was a peg. On peg, I hung a sack. The sack I threw, it became a planet. On the planet, I grew coffee. Coffee fell down. I cleaned with a mop. Who took the mop? Owl took the mop and went away. The owl sat on deer. The deer's spots were all button. The button became the wheels of the bus. In the bus, everyone was wearing coat. We threw the coat and it fell on a cab, and the cab started melting, but I'm going to write only melt, not melting. I have to tell myself while memorizing that it's not melting, it's just melt, right? So I do all this, and I did this much, and let's try maybe putting some wrong words. So I'm just putting randomly, maybe any words. So I'm writing cat, bat, and mat. Let's see what happens with that. Okay. And then I'm going to do submit. So we did 12 words in a row correctly. When we did 12, so after 10, we got a bonus point of 1. So it became 11. And so 12 and plus 1 became 13. So I've got 13 as my score. So what is the strategy when you're doing words? Now you are seeing, you're reading the word, you are converting the word into a picture once again and linking all the words and forming a story. Okay, so once again, in this method also, this is like a double step of brain work. In images are there in front of you. You don't have to form an image, but here you will be forming visual images also of the words. So it again works on imagination, visualization, story making, and linking, and definitely helps you boost your focus, concentration, and your memory power. So that was your word memorization.